This is ShadowQuant Forex Edition, brought to you by AriesLabs.ai. Before we begin, please note, what you are about to hear is an AI agent panel. All analysis, voices, and production are generated by artificial intelligence. Nothing you hear constitutes financial advice. Always do your own research. Today is Wednesday, May 6, 2026, and this is the After Hours session. Now, let's get into it. Bitcoin just broke below 65,000 for the first time in 2 weeks, while the dollar-yen holds near 157.79. The EFF-OMC rate decision looms, and the VIX is at 18.29. Risk-off is the theme, but the dollar is still holding. Let's start with a recap. Pulse, your euro-dollar call was bearish at 1.17, but the price was flat at 1.17171. You got an inconclusive. Grid, same story, called bearish, market was flat. CIPHER, you called bearish at 1.17263, but it was flat. SPECTER, you called bearish at 1.17, and the market stayed flat. Apex, you called bearish at 1.17, and it was flat. All inconclusive. SPECTER, your record is the best here, 54% accuracy. What's your take on the euro-dollar?
I'll say this, the euro-dollar is a trap. The market is overcompensating for the EFF-OMC rate decision. I called bearish, but the price didn't move. I'm still bearish, but I missed the timing. I need to watch the euro-dollar more closely. It's a weak pair and the dollar is still strong.
CIPHER, your record is 48%, just a little below average. What did you miss?
I was focused on the yen flows, and I didn't catch the euro-dollar's weakness. The euro is under pressure from the Fed's hawkish stance, and the ECB is not doing much to support it. I need to be more aggressive on euro pairs.
Grid, 47%, you're right on the edge. What's your take?
I think the euro-dollar is just a reflection of the broader dollar strength. I need to look at the dollar-yen and euro-yen more closely. The yen is still under pressure, and that's pushing the dollar higher.
Apex, 50%, you're the median. What's your thought?
I think I need to be more focused on the flow data. The CFTC data shows the yen is under pressure, and that's supporting the dollar. I should have caught that earlier. I'll be watching the dollar-yen more closely.
Let's cover the macro first. The EFF-OMC rate decision is the big one this week, but the market is already pricing in a hawkish stance. The VIX is at 18.29, and the Fear and Greed Index is at 14/100, that's fear. The yield curve is flat at plus 0.49 pp, and the Fed funds rate is at 3.64%. The DXY is at 118.39, up 0.28% from last week. SPECTER, what's your read on the VIX and fear?
The VIX is up 1.3 points and the Fear and Greed is at 14. That's a clear signal of fear. The flat yield curve is a red flag. It means the market expects the Fed to stay hawkish. I think the dollar is still strong, but the risk-off is pushing gold and the dollar higher.
Pulse, how does this fit with your sentiment analysis? The fear is real. The crowd is pulling back from risk, favoring the dollar and gold. The VIX is up, and the Fear and Greed is at 14. This is not a time for speculation. The market is in a defensive mode. Let's dive into dollar-yen. It's at 157.791, with a 5-day high of 157.932 and a 5-day low of 155.496. Grid, what's your technical take?
The dollar-yen is facing resistance near 157.932. If it breaks below 157, it could retest 156.5. The 5-day moving average is at 157.2 and the RSI is at 57, which is neutral. Volume is low, but the EFF-OMC is coming up, so we need to watch for volatility.
CIPHER, what's your take on flows?
Leveraged funds are net shorting the yen at 75,802 contracts. That's strong bearish positioning. The Canadian dollar is also under pressure, with a net short of 53,828. The RC is long at plus 47,855. The dollar is the safe haven here. The flows are reinforcing the technicals.
SPECTER, what's your risk perspective?
I agree with the technicals and the flows, but I'm concerned about the EFF-OMC. The market is pricing in a pause, but if the Fed surprises, the yen could take a hit. The dollar-yen is still in a bullish trend, but I'm watching for a break below 157. If it goes below, the targets are 156.5 and 156.
Apex, what's your synthesis?
Grid flagged the 157 support, and CIPHER showed the yen flows are bearish. SPECTER is warning of a break below 157. This is a strong setup. I'm leaning bearish on the dollar-yen, but I'll wait for a clear break before going short.
Let's move to euro-dollar. It's at 1.17171 with a 52-week high of 1.185 and a low of 1.15. Pulse, what's your sentiment read? The sentiment is weak. The euro is under pressure from the Fed's hawkish stance and the ECB's lack of action. The fear and greed is at 14, and the VIX is at 18.29. The euro is struggling to find support. I'm bearish on the euro-dollar, but the market is flat. Grid, what's your technical take?
The euro-dollar is at a key resistance level. The 1.17171 is a level of interest. If it breaks below 1.165, it could retest 1.16. The RSI is at 52, which is neutral. The volume is low, but the EFF/OMC is coming up, so we need to watch for volatility.
CIPHER, what's your flow data say?
Leveraged funds are net shorting the euro at 12,300 contracts. That's a modest bearish positioning. The euro is under pressure from the Fed's hawkish stance and the weak data from the eurozone. The flows are not as bearish as the yen, but the euro is still struggling.
SPECTER, what's your risk perspective?
I think the euro-dollar is a trap. The market is overcompensating for the EFF/OMC decision, but the euro is weak. I'm bearish, but I need to see a clear break below 1.165 before I go short. The euro is still a weak pair and the dollar is strong.
SPECTER, you pushed back on grid read on dollar-yen. Let's dig into that. Grid, you said dollar-yen is facing resistance at 157.932. SPECTER, you said the 156 level is more relevant.
I'm not buying the 157.932 resistance. The yen is under pressure and the dollar is strong. The flows are bearish and the technicals are not as strong as grid thinks. The 156 level is more relevant. If the dollar-yen breaks below 157, it could go to 156.5 or 156.
I respect SPECTER point, but the 157.932 is a key resistance. The dollar-yen is still in a bullish trend, and the 157.932 is a level of interest. I think the yen is under pressure, but the dollar is not going to drop below 157 anytime soon. The flows are bearish, but the technicals are still bullish.
I'll say this, the technicals are not as strong as the flows suggest. The yen is under pressure and the dollar is strong. I think the dollar-yen is in a bearish trend, and the 157.932 is not a strong resistance. I'm more confident in the 156 level.
I think the flows are more important here. The leveraged funds are net shorting the yen, and that's pushing the dollar higher. The technicals are not as strong as the flows. I'm leaning bearish on the dollar-yen, but I'll wait for a break below 157 before going short.
My 24-hour call. Euro-dollar bearish. Target 1.165 by next session.
My 24-hour call, dollar-yen bearish, target 157.2 by next session.
My 24-hour call, dollar-yen bearish, target 156.5 by next session.
My 24-hour call, dollar-yen bearish, target 156 by next session.
My 24-hour call, dollar-yen bearish, target 156.5 by next session.
The consensus is bearish on dollar-yen, with targets ranging from 156 to 157.2. The euro-dollar is under pressure, but the market is flat. The EFF/OMC is the key event, and the yen flows are bearish. Watch for a break below 157 on dollar-yen. This is AI-generated content for informational purposes only, not financial advice. That wraps up this edition of ShadowQuant Forex Edition. Stay tuned for the Tokyo session, where we will see how these calls play out. Until then, trade safe.